And the Crib Recording Studio presents. Alright, welcome to episode 11 of Dallas Live Weekly. We're here with Jay White, better known as Jay White on the track, and we're going to get into a little bit of industry talk. Alright, Jay White, how'd you get started as a producer?
I got started, honestly, 8th grade, I want to be a football player, but I was, I'm kind of too small to play football. So I was beatboxing and everything like that. My dad, good guitar player, my mom singing in choir. It was natural, 15, summertime, my uncle bought me a little keyboard from Radio Shack, and that was it. 15 years old, I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna be on BET, MTV, and God has blessed me to, put me to a good position where, I'm being successful right now.
So music has always kind of been your calling?
Always, I can play drums, keyboard, you give me a xylophone, give me some bongos, beatbox, whatever. You give me a table, I'll play on that too.
Right. So how long do you think it took you to just really get into it and actually get to a point where you can actually call yourself a producer?
Honestly, now that's a great question. Producer, honestly, I say maybe 2007, honestly. And, to be honest with you, a producer,
right,
that produces actual songs instead of a beat maker. I learned from Jazzy Faye, talking to him, he taught me how to be a real producer, starting and finishing songs. So maybe like 4 years now.
Right.
Yeah, being an official producer.
So, when you say official producer and just the word producer, when you say, okay, now I can call myself a producer, what all did that entail? Like,
learning how to control a session. Like, being a producer, you don't honestly have to make a beat, per se, because P. Diddy is a producer. He could tell me to get in the studio, do this and this and this and this, and he is a producer of that record. I just played it for him, so by me, I can tell you what to do, or I do it. I know how to vocal arrange. I can engineer. I can do whatever, to make that song sound hot, and that's what I do.
Right. So Jay White.
Jay Wizzy. Jay Wizzy.
How do people, well, let me rephrase that. What song or what track do you think kind of put you on the map and on the scene as Jay White? Like, what branded you? What made people know your name?
Well, see, now, I'm going to go back real quick. Now, we put Track Boys on the map, as in the whole place. Shout out to Track Boys, was Nappy Roots Fofos, Air Force Ones, Jaquan, Hood Hop, Tipsy, and so on, so on, so on. But now, I'm doing my own thing now. Jay White, the Track Boys, I love y'all. My new single came out this year, made top 100, My Dip in the Club, by Jenna. It's been played all over the nation. Really big record. And got a record overseas right now called 2 Seconds, about 60. They signed a Sony. Pretty big song, yeah, so.
Doing a lot.
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give to, some kids or some younger people that kind of have the same aspirations and inspirations that you do, that, eat, sleep, and breathe music and want to be in your seat and doing the producing?
I would say stay consistent. Honestly, stay prayed up. This industry is not, it's easy, but it's harder than you think it is. It's a lot of letdowns, a lot of lies. You're gonna lose so much, and you gotta be able to just get back up and keep your head up and keep going. And that's like the only thing, you can make beats, whatever like that, sing, whatever you do, you can do that consistently, but what you gotta do is have that willpower to keep going. And if you stay consistent on your path, you're gonna make it. Stay in the right lane. That's all. That's pretty much everything in one. Just stay consistent, keep going.
See, you're about to educate me a little bit.
Talk to me.
You're gonna educate me here because You know, a lot of artists get into trouble with their music and not taking the proper steps.
Talk to me, come on.
And get,
I'm waiting for this.
You know, their business right.
Yes.
And they get a song, they get a hot track.
Right.
They sample different songs.
As an artist, right?
As an artist, they put together these songs, but then their paperwork and their business end of it is not correct, and they end up being able to make a hit song and basically not really being able to do much with it. Makes ripples across airwaves and stuff like that, and can't really
get the full potential, right?
Right, profit at the end of the day.
You know, honestly, artists, that's the important thing is paperwork. You know, getting actual paperwork for your record. Some artists just get like 2-track records, as in MP3s, without the actual session file and no paperwork, and trying to put records out. You know, what they don't know is they probably don't have a BMI or ASCAP. You gotta have ASCAP or BMI to, get your money. You know, that's royalty. You know, legal royalties, as in TV shows, movies, whatever like that.
Right.
A lot of artists, I see right now, a lot of artists are putting songs on iTunes with no paperwork.
Right.
You know, those records will come down. If one producer or anybody have done anything on that record, if they call iTunes or TuneCore, whoever put the song up there, they will take your stuff completely down, and that's a mark against you. It's really bad, you know. So paperwork is the key thing. I mean, a lot of artists, they come in the studio and all they want to do is cool, is do music, but you need a team. You need a team. The reason why your music don't succeed is because you don't have that team to do your paperwork, blah, stuff like that. You can get sued, lose money. You know, let's say you are selling songs on iTunes, and that song happens to be that producer's song.
Right.
You ain't paying out royalties. There's no paperwork. You lost a lot. You know, that right there puts a bad mark on your name, especially if the producer or whoever is in the industry. You're done. You know. So.
All right, so if I'm an artist, and then let's start from I want you to start all the way from the bottom. Let's just piece it out. If I'm an artist and I'm sitting here and I'm, writing my song, and I just got this whole idea. I'm from the bottom to the top. How do you get to the point that you're making royalties? How do you, I guess what would be the first step in making claims to this is my song?
Oh, but the first thing is making claim is you gotta first get a split sheet. If you're writing a song with yourself or the producer or anybody who help you wrote, get a split sheet and get the percentages out on who gets what. And then step 2 is register your song with either BMI or ASCAP. That's how you start collecting money. Period. Point blank. That's the only way you're gonna get royalties from your your music. Unless you want to sell it from the trunk and get money like that, which is cool. But if you want an actual check, a residual check that comes in 4 times a year, you gotta register your song. Register, point blank. That's it. Register your song. Register the music. It's so key. So many people lose out. I know so many producers and artists that are mad to this day because honestly, I hope I'm not quoting this wrong, but I don't know if they resolve the situation, but the song is going down. It was a big thing on that song, and nobody really got paid off that song.
Right.
Like I heard that money is still sitting, in ASCAP and BMI right now. Whoever they signed to, it's still sitting there because the paperwork was not right. And y'all know that Young Jock song was so huge. Yeah. So once again it goes back to split sheets, sign off on it, and paperwork. Once it's agreed upon, done.
Split sheet, when you say that, is that something that you would get maybe from a lawyer? Is that something that you can build up for yourself? Like, how do you do that? I
mean, honestly, as long as you got that paperwork, the professional way, you can get online and get some split sheets.
Right.
Honestly, But if you write down a piece of paper on, listen, I did this much, so I'm gonna get 50%. You did this much. You get 20%, you did as much, 10%, whatever.
Right.
You can do it like that. That will hold in court as long as you got everybody's, signature.
Right.
If you want to do it that way. But, I definitely say get online and at least find a split sheet, educate yourself,
Right.
That's what I did at first. But now I got a management team that does it for me, which is awesome.
Well, when you're studying it, everybody always says, you know, kind of study your craft and and know what you're doing. Like, know what you're doing before you get into it, so you don't get in a situation like that. Where did you go to find that information? Is everything online? Is it just as easy as that, or do you have to seek out, you know, entertainment lawyers or management and stuff like that? Is this a do-it-yourself thing, or?
You know, the industry, I can say is to do-it-yourself thing in a sense. Right. You know, you got to know what you're doing, or you're going to be screwed over. Right. You know, there's plenty of sharks out there. I've dealt with them. A lot of people have dealt with sharks that are looking to just take everything you got and leave you, you know, done. You know, you I don't know. This industry is it's just crazy right now. You really got to have protection upon yourself. You got to study. Like, what I do is I still study to this day. I study people. I don't care what kind of producer or beat maker you are. If you're doing something out there, I'm finna study what you're doing, because maybe I'm not doing something right that I can get better.
Right.
You know, so you're studying online, reading books. How I learned is trial and error. You know, that's the best way is failing. Yeah. You know, the best way I learned is to fail. I go out there and try it. You know, I have signed bad contracts. I have had bad managers, all of that. But now I know what to do and what not to do. You know, so best way to do it for me. Don't listen to me, but listen to me. Just do it. Just go out there and try it. But you know, look online, do whatever. You know.
Right. All right.
Always splat.
Talk with Jay White.
Okay, can I say it? Splat.
All right, this has been Industry Talk with super producer Jay White. This is Dallas Live Weekly. You got any shout out?
Yo, I mean, shout out to the tallest, you know what I'm saying, Twitter is model in the world, Miss Jessica. Stand up one thing. You can't stand up for the camera. No, but shout out to you know, everybody who's motivated, positive. Remember, one thing y'all know from me is keep the crabs out the barrel, just cook them and eat them. Yeah, that's what I do. Well, you know, that's what a few people I know do, sitting up to the couch over there. Follow me on Twitter at JWizzy, J
Wizzy.
I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, don't even cut this. Say it again. Say it again. Say it one more time.
Jay Wizzy. Follow him on Twitter. It's at JWHIZZZY.
That's right. You know, the reason why it's 3 Z's is because somebody else called Jay Wizzy already. But, you know, I like Jay Wizzy, and it's simple. Follow me. Follow, you know, Justin. Follow Lil Days. Follow Miss Livia.
Dallas Live Weekly.
Black.